Hello, everybody. Okay. I don't know how this fucking sounds because I am not tech savvy. If you're wondering why I'm using my ASMR microphone, it's because I left buying a microphone till last minute and I don't actually know what I want to use, like what audio device is going to be good. So we're just going to be trying this one this week, but I have my eye on a few others, but it's just going to go right here. And, you know, if they can hear me or not, it doesn't really matter at this point because I'm so done. I'm just not a tech savvy girl. Like, I wish I was. I wish I knew what I was doing, but I don't. And for some reason, even though I fully charged the battery, it's giving like it's gonna die. So, you know, my podcast life might be short-lived. Anyway, hello guys. Welcome to the Niknok'd Podcast. I hope you guys are ready for a really, really good first episode. Well, I don't know if it's going to be good, bro. Like, I am trying. I've got my list of things to talk about. You know, they don't teach people how to do podcasts. Like, I know everyone shit talks like, oh, everyone has a podcast. Anyone can buy podcast equipment. First of all, podcast equipment isn't that fucking cheap, bitch. And second of all, these people who have podcasts are smart. I'm sorry, but there takes some kind of a smartness to be able to set this stuff up. That or like I'm just extremely stupid and I just don't know. Anyway, so you might be able to like kind of see the iPad there. It's recording me. I don't know, like I need to see it. But I also wanted you guys to be able to see Snooki. Okay, wait, maybe I'll move it to the floor. Let's move the iPad to the floor. Maybe I can like watch it from down there. Oh, okay, yeah, no. Can you see Snooki? You can kind of see it. So my plan is when it's just me on the pod, I want it to be like that close to me and kind of ignoring my guest chair, but then when there's a guest, it'll be like pushed back. So you can kind of see Snooki. We're going to get into Snooki a little bit later because if you were like keeping your eye on my socials this week, you may or may not hear the news about Snooki and I, but we will get into that later. Editing Annalise from the future here, guys. The audio is whack. The video quality is whack, but did you expect anything less from a first episode from me? But I want to quickly say, I just said that I was going to go to the Snooki thing later and I didn't. Snooki followed me on TikTok, everyone. Woohoo! Was so wrapped. If you didn't already know, now you know. And yeah, continuing on. Now, guys, I really hope this sounds okay because even with my ASMR mic, I still don't understand all the different functions. Like I don't get what they mean. Like the little symbols, not helpful at all. So anyways, guys, let's get into, oh, I keep looking at myself in the viewfinder. I really hope it's in focus. I have like not the best eyesight. So if this is a blurry episode, then everyone on Spotify listening, you are probably loving your life right now. That's if I even get this on fucking Spotify because I don't know what I'm doing. Okay? My boyfriend is sick. Normally he does all this shit and he's not here. So right now I am like being thrown to the deep end, but I guess that's something that like needs to be done in life. Also, my camera's on this setting where it's gonna like stop recording at 30 minutes. So then I'm gonna have to like get back into the swing of things. And the recording app I have only goes to 59 minutes, but I don't plan on having super long episodes like that anyway. I love a podcast episode max. Like for myself, like 40 minutes, 50 minutes, yeah. There are some podcast episodes I will sit through like 2 hours, but other times I'm just like, is it really necessary? Anyways, okay. So guys, welcome to my podcast. I wanted to just explain the title of my podcast, where it came from, and also like where the name Nickknok came from, because so many people ask me about it and I'm like, guys, how do you not know by now? So obviously it's called Niknok'd Podcast because I don't know why some people try and act like this isn't Nickknocking, like knocking on the door. People, what are they trying to call it? Ding dong ditch. No, ding dong ditch is too many syllables for me. Nickknok is what it's called. You knick-knock a classroom and you run off. So the way I got the name Nickknok for my TikTok account was, I remember, okay, there was like this really old viral video and it was like these two sisters and it was like, I'm gonna hit that, you better watch that. So me and Aramide in school, we were literally obsessed with that video in year 11. Like we would piss ourselves laughing. And I just decided one day, and it's so weird because I remember the day so clearly, like it happening. It was almost like it was meant to be. I remember downloading TikTok and thinking of like my username randomly. At the time, it was when it used to be Musical.ly. So I would have had so many options of usernames I could have made. But anyways, I decided to call it, let's just call it Nickknok, because like TikTok, Nickknok, let's ride it in the way of TikTok. And me and Aramide used to Nickknok classrooms. Like I will get her on the pod one day for us to tell all of our school stories. It's going to be so funny. But me and Ara used to, I have to also not talk fast, guys, sorry. Me and Ara used to Nickknok classrooms. Like we were just such little shits. Like we're literally like grown 17-year-olds and we'd go past like the year 7 classroom and knock and run. Like, and you know what, when you would hear the knock of a Nickknok, it is a certain type of knock. It's not no average knock. Oh my God, this is gonna like describe me. I'm not no average knock, okay? A Nickknok is a specific knock where it's like, you can just tell someone's Nickknocking because it's like, there's this fast, like, bang, bang, to it. Like, it's not like that normal, like, oh, stay still. It's not like that. No, wait, let's do it maybe here. It's not like, it's like, and you run. So, that's why I just called it Nickknok. I could have just called it Nickknok probably. No one would have even had that name, but, oh, you know, it was meant to be, like, it happened, it worked. Okay, whatever. Anyway, guys, I'm literally getting blinded by these freaking lights. I got these Amazon lights and I thought that was shit. I'm closing my eyes and I'm seeing two squares floating from how bright these lights are. Like, I feel like it's going to look like I'm in heaven when I edit back this video. Anyway, so Niknok'd is like just a play on words of like Nickknok being like my main TikTok name, and many people just call me Nickknok in real life. Like, that's what I'm known as. When people, like, and I don't mind it. Like, I love that some people don't even know that my name's Annalise. Guys, am I close enough this microphone? I'm sorry if the microphone quality is so bad. Okay, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, okay? And you just have to, like, bear with me, okay? Bear with me. Anyway, so, yeah, Niknok'd is kind of a play on, like, how Punk'd, the MTV 2000s show, is, like, written with a little dash in the D. That was given to me by Steph Fortuna. Shout out to my nail girl, Steph. She ate that name up, and I actually really, really like it. I had a lot of people suggesting me other names, and, like, names that had nothing to do with me, and I get it. That's if I wanted to go mainstream, but I feel like at this point, this is not a mainstream pod. This is a pod for the Nickknok watchers. Like, you guys are only going to get me. Like, I feel like if this goes mainstream with people who don't know who Nickknok is, like who myself is, they're going to be like, what the fuck am I listening to? Like, this girl doesn't know what she's doing. Like, do you know what I mean? And I don't want to, like, get anyone being mean to me. So, anyway, sensitive things. So anyway, yeah, so that was my first thing to say, like, where did Nickknok come from? And we're going to be talking about my most viral story time video, and that is getting scared in the dark. And I kind of re-talked about this week on, oh, wait, I'm going to move this Playboy bunny. Like, yes, she's slay, but, like, girl, she's not comfortable. I wonder how it would be if I'm like this. Imagine it was muted this whole time. I would crash out. Oh my god, wait, this is kind of cute. As long as you can hear me and as long as it's focused. But my eyes are like blind. It looks like right now I'm looking at if there was a slime version of me. Someone made me into slime. That's what I'm seeing. Anyways, oh, you know what? I need to get like a really big monitor. Oh, put that on the shopping list. See, podcasts aren't cheap, guys. You hate on all the podcast people, bro. It costs money to run a fucking podcast, bitch. Anyways, okay, maybe I should stop swearing. I don't know if that's like allowed. Is swearing allowed? Well, if you think about it, there's a lot of like really swear word songs on Spotify and stuff, so like surely that's allowed. I keep saying Spotify as if this is literally going to get on there, as if I'm going to be able to figure it out, because I know something's going to go wrong. I'm already predicting it. Okay, so I already talked about it again this week, my most viral story time, which is when me and my brother Alex scared each other in the dark. Guys, no, I'm turning the lights down. I am not even joking. I think I'm going to have a brain, like, problem. I think I'm literally going to have something happen to me. I'm not joking. I think something's going to happen to me. I'm, like, blind. I'm going to, like, look here. I'm going to be, like, doing one of those, like, 60 minutes, like, all freaking documentary interviews where they're, like, looking at someone behind the camera. Because I can't look at you because I'm dying right now. Am I supposed to look at the camera with a podcast? Guys, I'm just going to look over there and you're going to have to accept it. I can't. I'm going blind. Maybe I should wear sunglasses. Do I have sunnies in my bag? Anyways, okay. So, yes. The story of when me and Alex scared each other in the dark. And if you don't know the story, I'm going to retell it. I have to because people deserve to know about it. Oh, that's why it was going red, because I'm talking really loud. Okay, cool. So, this all started in... Now, I'm going to give you guys the full backstory, which I've never properly explained. Like, I don't think I've ever explained the proper backstory anywhere else, maybe on a live stream or something. So, this happened in September 2022. Was it 2022 or 2023? I think maybe 2023. And then I told it in 2024. And then it went, yeah, I think 2023, yeah. So, what had happened was it? Motherfucker. Yeah, it was 2023. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It happened one time. It happened in September, okay. And, so the night before it happened, so that week, okay, this is so goofy. So I had a friend come over. Me and my boyfriend were going to a rave, and one of his mates came over. And the mate was a normal guy, he's a friend of ours, whatever. We went to the rave. He had come over and we did kind of prees in my room for a little bit, kind of awkward. And then the next night, whatever, I went to bed, and then the next morning I woke up, and then my mum came in my room, and she was like, You know that guy that came over, like, do you know anything about him? Like, is he all right? And I was like, yeah, it's just a normal guy. She's like, all right. She does this, like, kind of face, like, she's looking at me funny. I was like, Mom, like, what is it? You're scaring me. Like, did he do something? She's like, no, it's just like, all right, I'll tell you. And she proceeded to tell me that night after he had come over, like, we'd gone to a rave and come home, gone to bed, she'd actually had a sleep paralysis experience where she felt something crawling on top of her. Oh my God, I get scared talking about it because I'm so fucking scared of everything, and we'll get into that in a bit. And she had told me that had happened to her, and I'm not going to go into details, whatever, but I shit myself on the spot when she said that, because that is one of my biggest fears, and I'm also just scared of the dark in general, like I always have been my whole life, which I'll get into in a little bit. And so when she told me that happened, it kind of shook me up a little bit, because I'm thinking this happened in my own house, and like I am a bit more of a spiritual thinker. Like, yes, I do think in that, like, kind of logical, like, psychological sense, like, okay, that stuff can happen from being very, very tired. Like, if you're sleep deprived, shit like that can happen. But I also have a spiritual side of me that is, like, cautious of that. And, like, the fact that my mum was, like, worried about someone who'd come in the house if they brought some energy with them or whatever, like, made me feel really, really scared. So she told me that. I went about the day. I think she told me it, like, actually in the evening of the next day, because I was still very shaken up, I remember. I was still shaken up. So I went to go to bed that night. Mind you, during this time, that the 3 months before this, I'd been having a lot of death anxiety, like a lot of obsessive thoughts about death and fear about death. There was, I think, unfortunately, 3 deaths that had happened about people my age. I think 2 girls and a guy, or 2 guys and a girl in my area, like northern suburbs, in that 3 months, and they were my age. And it made me so shaken up, because I was already going through this, like, death anxiety thing. Guys, is it focused on me? Please God, this death anxiety thing. And so when you hear about people passing away that's your age, like, it makes you kind of become very like, oh my God, like, and I have a spiritual side and whatever. So we're not going to get into that, because, like, I remember one time I shared a video and someone was like, anyway, no, I can't be able to get into it. Anyway, so I don't want to have to edit things out, so I need to be, like, normal when I talk. So anyway, I'm holding on to the Playboy bunny for dear life. So yeah, I was going through a bit of a death anxiety thing, and like a fear thing. Like, I could feel like what it is to die. Like, I was just freaking myself out, okay? And I was already having trouble sleeping, so I think I'd been putting on, like, maybe a nightlight or something at night. Like, I don't know. I think I hadn't had anything on at the time. Anyway, so my mum told me that happened that night, and I tried to go to bed. And I remember me and Josh had been on the phone, I think, till late, laughing, and then, like, whatever, we hung up, and I was going to go to bed, and my bedroom was completely pitch black. Now, normally in my house, in my Coburg house, my dad always slept in the lounge room. Like, he sleeps on the couch because he's got sleep problems. So there was always a light on in my house, always. My dad doesn't like the dark. He's scared of the dark also. So I'm very used to it. And also at the time, we didn't have a toilet. We only had my mum's toilet. We didn't have 3 toilets. We only had the one in my mum's ensuite, which I stopped going into her room in the middle of the night because I would scare her and stuff. So we had to go to the toilet, which was all the way at the other side of the house, which you normally have to walk down the hallway past the lounge room, and my dad would normally be sleeping and go to that toilet. So this night in particular, everyone had gone to bed early for some reason. Like, it was like 11 p.m. and everyone was in bed. All the lights were off, which would have been my mum bloody turning off the lights. My dad never turns off the lights. My mum would have done it to save electricity, of course. And all the lights were off and everyone was in bed. So it may as well have been 3 a.m., even though it was like 11:30. Me and Josh hung up the phone. I'd gone to go to bed. My bedroom light was like off. Now, someone made this comment to me. I got up to go pee. I really need to pee. I've got this thing where I have to empty every single drop of pee in my bladder before I sleep. I cannot sleep if I haven't pee like 3 times. And I end up peeing like normally once or twice in the night. Like, I don't know why. I just always do. So I got up to go toilet, and now, I don't take my phone when I go to toilet. Like, I see all these things about people like, oh, when you take the TikTok playing, you use it as a flush of the toilet. I don't do that. I don't know why. I just never have brought my phone with me when I go to toilet. Like, even to this day, I just don't do it. Like, I don't know. I should. Anyway, I got up to go to the toilet. When I came out of my room, I had left my bedroom light on, but, like, I kind of closed the door. The house was pitch black. Now, I didn't really think anything of it because at the time I was kind of like, whatever. But mind you, I had this like kind of background thought of like what had happened with my mum. So I was a little bit like creeped out. But I thought, let me just go to it, like whatever. I didn't think anything of it. So I was walking down the hallway, walk. Walking down the hallway, it's a dark corridor. I go all the way down. I turn like into the laundry. You have to go into the laundry to go into the toilet. If you've seen the recreation video on my TikTok, you see exactly the layout of my house. So I was walking And I walk and I go down to the bathroom and I go into the toilet and I go into the toilet and I turn the light on the toilet and I'm thinking, okay, like in my head, I'm not even joking. When I was walking, I'd been a little bit creeped out, but I'm the type of person that like I have to not look at things because if I look at something, I will see something. So I try to not look at things. Even now in my new house, I can't look at the shadows. I have to just dart to the toilet. And when I go to my bedroom, I have to like almost force myself to have tunnel vision because if I even allow myself to interpret what's going on over here and here, I will shit myself because I'm just scared. So I went to the toilet, whatever, I peed, I'm like, oh yeah, this is so fine, whatever. I got up, for some reason I turned off the toilet light, like, so it was pitch black, right? I walk out of the laundry and now the only light that was really coming was like, my bedroom door was shut, so the only light that I could really, sorry, I think I turned my bedroom light off. The only light that I could see was like through the front doors, like I could see the front door, through the window I could see like maybe like the street lights, like a tiny bit of light, but it was basically pitch black. I start walking back from the toilet and I see something in the corner of my eye. And as I said, normally I shut down those things. I don't like look at them. But it was so strange. It was like, it was pitch black, but it was like I could see static, almost like, imagine like an energy, like it's so creepy, but it was like I could see the static of like a figure. And I'm trying to tell myself, because you know, sometimes when I'm walking, I think a tree's about to fall. Like I think I see a tree fall on me. Like I don't know how it's been, like I always fucking see shit. And I just said, for some reason, I remember when I said to myself, there is nothing there, Annalise, prove it to yourself. Like prove it to yourself that there's nothing there. Because as I was kind of walking, I just felt there was something there. So I was like, I see the static and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go like that through it to prove to myself, yeah, there's fucking nothing there, keep walking. Oh, little did I know when that static was appearing in front of me. So mind you, I'm walking down the hall and I'm where our kitchen table kind of is, because you walk past the kitchen table to keep walking down the hallway. Oh God, it's frightening, but it isn't, but it's so funny. I have gone to go like this and expecting to go through. My arms have been stopped. My arms have been stopped and I've grabbed something. I've hit something, like something it was the fear. I can't even explain. I grabbed, oh God. I don't know what screamed first. I don't know if it was me or the figure that screamed first. All that there was the screams of terror like you've never heard before. If that was an audition tape for the next Insidious, the next whatever the fuck where they're screaming scary movies, I would have made it. I would have got an Oscar, because the screeching that was coming through me and this being that I had put my arms around was absolutely insane. So keep in mind, I've got this background thought. So I've got this background thing that there's something in my house. That's essentially when my mum had the sleep paralysis, I thought there is something in my house. There is an energy, there is a demon, there is something, okay? That is what I'm thinking in the back of my head, and I'm shutting those thoughts down. I've seen this entity, I've put my arms through it, I've grabbed it, it screamed. Oh my God, that is like the worst like chain of events. Me and this being are screaming, ah! And it's not like, oh my God. It's like, I have this something, my larynx, it drops. It's like, ah! That's how that sounds fucked. I promise you. I'm actually getting really creeped out. I'm getting tears in my eyes because that's how I was screaming, and that's how the I don't actually know. The being was screaming. I could hear it was myself. So me and the being was screaming, and at first it was like on each other, like and then it was like spinning in emotion, being ripped around. Me and the being was spinning. It was like we were in orbit in the air. And all of a sudden, me and the being have brought each other into the moonlight of the coming through the door. And that's when I see it's my fucking brother, Alex, my 18-year-old brother, or I think he was 17 at the time, or 18-year-old brother, Alex, standing in front of me. And I realize it's him. Now, first thought of yours might be, oh my God, stop, we're scaring each other. No, Annalise, who jumps to conclusions, my first thought is, oh my God, he's possessed. My first thought is he's possessed. Like the entity is here, but it's possessing him. Because why is he screaming? Why was he standing in the dark next to the kitchen table? Like, your brain kind of doesn't like think of things logically when you're in fear. You think of the worst possible outcome. So I thought, oh my God. So we're screaming. Somehow we've gotten onto the ground. I don't know how the fuck we're on the ground. I'm assuming out of fear, I don't know if it was him or me. Out of fear, one of us has brought the other to the floor. I can't. We've brought the other to the floor, and we have Now, the only way I can describe it, I'm telling you now, something dragged us. I'm sorry, I can't. Something dragged us. I don't give a fuck. Okay, yes, I know when I tell the story, me and him were grappling. Something fucking dragged us from the start of the hallway all the way down to my parents' bedroom. You don't understand. You don't understand. Okay, I think logically it was us both grappling and trying to get away from each other while we're both screaming because we're both in fear. But it felt like something dragged us. I had scrapes on my legs. Like it felt like something dragged me down the hallway. Mind you, while this is happening, we're both screaming. Something's happened in my throat, okay? And I can't get the words out to be like, Alex, it's me. So I was like, Alex, it's me. Like I was like saying, Alex, it's me. But like it was like, I started to fucking think I was getting possessed. Like, genuinely, something was happening in me. Like, that's why as well, like, I feel like when you're in a situation where you're, like, near death, you must not feel real. Because, like, bro, the fear, I can't even explain. So, we're screaming, we're grappling, we get all the way down. So, mind you, all this screaming's happening. No one's come out of their rooms yet. But this all must have happened within 7 seconds. But it felt like forever. We've dragged each other right into the floor in front of my parents' bedroom. My parents' bedroom door swings open. My mum switches the light on. But mind you, Arky fucking felt. Arky can sleep through anything. The youngest child, they can sleep through everything. Arky was asleep. Arthur runs out of his room in his undies because, like, where all our bedroom doors are, it all meets in the one spot. They run out. They switch the light on. I'm like, trying to get up. And at this point, when we'd got into my mum's door, by the way, I started to scream, Mom. Like, I couldn't scream. It was like, Mom. Like, I was screaming for my mum because I thought Alex was possessed. My mum and dad open the door. They turn the light on. And what do they see? Alex is on the ground with his, like, upside down like this. Like, upside down in the fetus position with his hands covering his fucking face. Take your hands out of your face. Why are your hands in your face? You're the one. Anyways, okay. I was standing over him like holding my throat because it was like I couldn't breathe. My mom's like, "You right, Mom?" I was like, "Oh, my voice." My mom's like, "Your voice." I'm like, and I like had to relax my larynx to be able to talk. And everyone's like, "What the fuck?" They thought a home invasion happened. I'm like, "I don't know what just happened. We just ran into each other." And then Mom was like, "Oh," I was like, "Oh my god," he went back to his room. My mom's like, "Whatever." I'm like, "I don't know." Alex goes, I went to go to the toilet and she turned the light off and then she grabbed me and dragged me and I'm like, "What are you talking about? What were you doing?" And we realized that, like, okay, obviously we realized we'd run into each other, we'd grab each other, we'd scream, we'd freaked out. So when that had settled, like, Alex went to bed, we were all pissing ourselves laughing. Like, it was like, I was like, oh my god, shaken up. I got back in bed, I called Josh, I explained to him what happened, but I had such adrenaline, guys, that I couldn't sleep. I turned my bedroom light on, I couldn't have the light off because I was scared. Even though I figured out what it was, the fear still lived in me. Like, I can't explain. To get rid of that fear, I couldn't do it. I didn't sleep that whole night. I had to go and sleep on the couch later. My dad actually came out and we were both asleep on the couches because he always sleeps on the couch because I had so much fear in me, yeah. But, like, bro, before, like, getting to the point of going to the couch, we were all pissing ourselves. Like, we were in our bedrooms and just cackling, laughing in separate rooms because it was, like, the dumbest experience. Anyway, so I eventually was able to fall asleep. The next morning, Alex had gotten up and talked to my dad. And my dad was like, "What the hell happened last night? Like, explain to me." So Alex has started the story. And this is my brother Alex, by the way. Let me give you back so if you don't know him. Alex is like my younger brother. He's like, well, now he's 20. He also has autism. So you have to keep in mind that, like, the things he does, sometimes it doesn't make sense. It's just goofy. And he's so funny and he's the best kid. But, like, he just has the biggest smile like here. So it's like the fact that it was Alex, I feel like just makes it 10 times more funny. Anyway. So Alex said that he needed to go pee and he's also scared of the dark and he saw that the house was pitch black. So from his bedroom, because they had the door open, he saw my bedroom light turn on. When he saw my bedroom light turn on and me go to the toilet, he felt safe to get up. So he felt safe to, like, get up to go to the toilet. And he saw me walk into the toilet and then he went to follow, but then he thought to himself, because Alex has this thing, he doesn't like to scare people because he gets scared. So he's like, I don't want her to get scared. Like, she's going to come out of the toilet and see me. She's going to get scared and it's going to scare me. So he thought the best thing for him to do was go and, like, kind of stand near the table in the dark. His plan was to just not be seen. So I've gone to the toilet, then I've turned the toilet light off. So now it's complete pitch black, which he didn't expect that. He thought it was going to be some dark and maybe he would have said to me, "Oh, don't be scared." But I've turned the toilet light off. So it was pitch black in the house when I came out. So because he was so scared, I was scared of me. This kid was standing next to our dining table like this. He was standing in the pitch black, okay, his whole 19-year-old, 5'10" self, standing like this. So that's the entity I saw. I saw a man with his hands covering his face. Why his hands were covering his face in the dark, I don't really know. I think he was like scared of me getting scared, so he didn't want to see me get scared. Like he was trying to protect himself from any cues of being scared. So that's what I saw. I saw it figure. I was obviously, my brain was able to pick up a little bit on his like figure, so I grabbed him. So what he had felt was he had his hands covering his face. He felt someone grabbing him in the pitch black. Oh, that's why he screamed. So he screamed first. No, I remember he was like, ah, and I was like, ah, because that's what scared me. If you think about it, it would actually be scary for someone to like grab you when you're like that. Anyway, so and his version of the story was that we screamed and then I dragged him by his leg down the fucking hallway. That's why he was on the ground upside down. He told my dad that in what fucking world does someone get scared? What are we Scooby-Doo characters? Why would I drag this guy by his leg down the hallway? Like, that's what he genuinely believed. And my dad was pissing himself laughing when he told him that story because, like, this kid really thinks I dragged him by his leg. But that's what I'm saying. It felt like something was dragging us. But I just think the fear of us both trying to get away. Bro, we were scratching at each other. The next morning, both of us, like my first story time I ever did of it, we had no voices, both of us, because we had screamed that intense that both of us had no voices left. We had scratches all over us from dragging each other. It was like there was a possession happening. Anyway, that is such a long version of the story, guys. I'm so sorry. If you heard it 100 times, I'm sorry. But that was like the full version where there was like this fear that happened. Like, that's why it all came about. My mum had instilled this fear in me a little bit of like there being like a spirit in the house. Anyway, it ended up being like I couldn't, then like literally ever since then I've always slept with the nightlight. There was, for about a week, I slept with my lamp on, so my bedroom was fully lit up. Even though nothing actually happened, the fear of that, oh my God, it shook me. Like I was literally shaken up that I couldn't sleep, and I got into the habit of needing to have lights on. Like the other day in my room, I had the light off and I thought I was back in my old house because we moved house since then. And like, it was just like weird because I never had my light off. I almost was confused where I was. Anyway, so in saying that, I want to see how long I've been recording for because I'm scared. Oh, 26 minutes. Damn, it's already been ages. That was the longest version of the story. Anyway, so yeah, in saying that, I was wondering, is there like a science behind why some people are more scared than others? Because I was talking to someone the other day and they were saying how they love horror movies so much, like they enjoy them. And I've never been able to wrap my brain around the idea of a horror movie because why would you willingly be scared, willingly be creeped out? Like, how do you go to bed at night after that? And I was thinking, you know what, maybe I understand like during the day watching it because something about like the fear and the creepiness, I get there's like an exhilaration kind of behind it, but at the end of the day, like how do you sleep at night not having those images in your head? Like the first horror movie I ever saw was Insidious when I was in grade 6, and we tried to watch it at this girl Maya's house, and I remember there was like a scene where like the devil was like above the baby's bed behind like a sheer curtain. Oh my God, me and my friend Layla, yes guys, Layla from Love Island, let me just mention that. Me and Layla, we literally were screaming and crying and freaking out because we were that scared. Like, we were not the girls to watch horror movies. We really weren't. I don't know if she watches horror movies now, but dude, it was traumatic. And I just don't understand how people like enjoy being scared because I'm such a scaredy cat. I tried to look up if there was a science behind being scared, and it was mostly just about like what you're brought up around and stuff like that. But there was also something about like genetics. I don't remember what it said. Wait, let me get my phone. I want to actually check because I remember looking it up and I actually had no idea. Wait. Is there a science behind being a scared person? Guys, I think I'm going to go blind in here, just saying. Fear is physical. Okay. Okay, wait. Obviously, there's like science behind it, but is there like a genetic reason? I want to know why we love to be scared. I don't love to be scared. What the frick? Why do I live in constant fear? What causes people to be scared? Nah. I don't know. If you guys know, if anyone studies like psychology or something, do you know why some people are more prone to being scaredy cats than others? Oh no, I gotta sneeze. Oh no, I'm scared. Yeah, so I posted a video on my TikTok like a couple weeks ago being like, is there anything you've seen as a kid that you can't explain? But you know you saw it. So there was this story about this time I was at this pool when I was like 4 years old. I would have been 3 or 4. I think I was 4. And my uncle was like taking me around this floating thing. And I looked inside like the pool kind of filter. Like, it's not like that filter. It's like that, like the square in the wall. It's like a filter, I guess, like the water goes through it, yeah. And I literally saw, it was almost like a reflection of a woman. And the woman looked like, she like looked a bit older. She had like a swimming cap on, and like she looked like, I guess it was in the 2000s. It could have been someone in the 2000s, but also was giving like someone from like the 90s. Anyway, and I remember seeing her and she waved at me and I waved back at her. And I always kept that memory in my head of that happening. And like, I remember my uncle making a comment about some people have gone in those and drowned before. And like, I don't care. I saw it. We had to like start the recording again, but I don't care. I saw it. Okay. And I know people try and say, oh, when you're a kid, you make things up. Dude, I swear I saw that. And anyway, so I made like a video talking about it because some people were trying to explain it that like it could have been something you dreamed, but I swear I saw the reflection. It was like a reflection of a lady. And it was like a reflection, which is really interesting because in my head I always thought it was the reflection. But now that I think about it, that's impossible for it to be a reflection. So it's like it was a ghost, literally. Anyways, so I made a video and I got people to comment like things they'd seen as kids. And I stopped checking the comments after a little bit, but people were commenting like, oh, I'm scared to read these comments. Oh, I can't sleep after reading these comments. Wait, where's my phone? So I thought, let me read a couple of these comments because I don't know what the hell people are talking about. What do you mean you're scared? Let's get it up. Comments have 3,100 comments the video has. Okay, some people are saying things like they used to be able to fly and stuff. But some people are saying they saw Santa. Like, I need to see if there's creepy ones. Oh my god, I feel uncomfortable. Someone commented this. When I used to try to sleep, I would feel this weird feeling. My parents used to too. It was like big but small and like needles, and my vision was rotating. Oh, okay. So, this is really interesting because I remember people saying that, oh my god, I'm getting like flashbacks. Okay, I am talking too long, so I'm just going to go off of that comment because I need to explain a phenomenon I've had. And I want to know if anyone else has experienced this. So, I've heard of this thing where like you can feel like you're on your head, you feel like your head is huge in the room. I've had a similar feeling to that. So one time it was when I was sick, and I feel like fever dreams are literally like a little bit traumatic. Oh my god, one time I had a fever dream that James Charles was that alien from I was really sick, I had glandular fever, and I had a dream that I drew a picture of the alien from Futurama, and it turned into James Charles' face, and I laughed so hard in my dream that I woke myself up, and then I immediately was so angry when I woke up because I just fallen asleep. Anyway, I had this feeling once, so I woke up from like, I guess I had this dream of like myself being squashed, like almost rolled onto. And I got up to go toilet, and I remember when I was grabbing the toilet paper, I had this like insane feeling, like I can't explain it. It's like, I guess like that I'm like growing, shrinking, like something huge squashing me, something overwhelming almost squashing me, but not physically. It was so creepy, and I haven't been able to, like, I've gotten that feeling a couple times, like, you know when you think about the idea of eternity, like something being forever, and like you can almost grasp that idea, but then it like slips away from you, like you think, oh my god, like the idea of eternity. Anyway, you can almost grasp the idea of eternity, but then it like randomly will like disappear, and you're like, what, wait, what? So it's like that. I can almost feel that feeling of like being rolled over and flattened, and I just, the way that person described, like they felt like they were being growing and shrinking and like pins and needles, it's kind of similar to that idea of like this way. It's like your body feels like it's going through a black hole. So creepy. Anyways, that makes me feel uncomfortable. Another feeling I've had since I was a kid, and it's like this feeling, and there was a word for it once. It's not derealization, it's not depersonalization, it's not that, okay? If you're not focused on me, I'm gonna get a fucking something to get you and end you, camera. So there's like this feeling I've gotten, and it's almost like I've had it since I was very young, and it's like almost this feeling of, it's a mixture of guilt, embarrassment, uncomfortableness, exposed, yucky in your body, and I've had it since I was really young, and I don't get it all the time. I notice I get it like kind of just before my period or when I'm in my period and I'm around people, and it's like almost this feeling of like you feel homesick. You know when you feel homesick and it's this yucky feeling? It's like feeling homesick but you're already at home, and it's so uncomfortable, and I've gotten it since I was a kid, and I've actually read up about other people. And that's why I find social media so amazing, because you would never know that other people experience that same phenomenon that you did. But I read up on other people feeling the same feeling, where you feel like this weird, I don't belong. If this camera isn't focused, I'm scared that like you guys, oh, that lighting is a lot better. Oops, sorry. Anyway, it's like this like really uncomfortable, yucky feeling, and I don't know what it's from because I don't remember anything ever happening to me as a kid, but I just know that I've talked to other people who, one of my friends said she used to get it when she was younger, when she was really dressed up around like adults. So she'd be like 5. If she was wearing like a dress at a wedding with like a bit of lip gloss, like she would feel that really uncomfortable feeling. And I've just always wondered where it's come from. Like I've read other people experiencing it, and it's not depersonalization, it's not derealization. There's a specific words I read once that kind of really describe the feeling, but there's like no like real reason behind it, but it's just this feeling of being uncomfortable. That's why I also feel like there's so much more than just, that's why I feel like I'm also spiritual as well, because I just feel like there is so much more meaning if you're not fucking focused, I'm gonna fucking snap it. I'm gonna snap that fucking thing. If it's not focused, guys, can you all come to my house with me and we're gonna have a ritual of burning this camera alive and hearing it scream. Anyways, okay, stop. Anyway, guys, I'm really curious if any of you have ever gotten that feeling before, and if you have, let me know, because like it's very uncomfortable, and like I've always had it, and I just like want to know why I get it. Like, where did it come from? Like, what the hell? It's like, it's yucky. It makes you feel yuck. Like, I don't know, not everyone gets it, but I also feel like maybe it could be from something happening when you're really small and you don't remember, but that kind of also scares me, that idea. Anyways, guys, we're getting really, really deep here. I feel like we should talk about something a little bit more light. Actually, no, let's talk about something that makes me angry. Ozpost is being effed up these days. So I have had 3 mishaps on Juicy with Ozpost, and now just in general, Ozpost is stuffing me up. So I've had 3 stealing theft situations with Juicy and Ozpost. I'm going to explain the first one. So back in 2021, I had a follower of mine, Diana. She is from America. She was like, I really want to send you something from like TJ Maxx in America because I know you love it so much. I was like, oh my God, you're so sweet. Thank you. So she ended up finding me this really cute like pink nightgown, and she paid the shipping. It was like $70 shipping to send it to Australia, which I thought was so freaking sweet of her. Do you know this girl sent it to me to my PO box? It got there and I went to go and like pick it up on the Monday because it got there on the Friday. I get there on the Monday morning to pick up my package, and the guy working there says to me, I'm really sorry, but for the first time in 25 years, we've had a theft here over the weekend. All we had was 2 packages. It was yours and someone else's, and they've stolen it. Are you fucking okay? First of all, what kind of shitty ass thief goes somewhere where there's 2 packages? If you're a good thief, you'll know where all the packages are at. You must feel like a freaking idiot for going to that Ozpost and all you got was 2 packages, one being a freaking Juicy jacket. You idiot. Anyway, so annoying for me because what are the chances the first time in 25 years when I have something left over there over the weekend? And it's a follower sent it to me. Like, it's not even like a business can like refund you. Like, oh my God, I was so pissed. Anyway, another thing I'd sold on Depop, I sold like a bootleg Juicy bag. I had like a couple bootleg bags and I got rid of them because I want to have the real ones. I sold it to a girl and I actually ended up going to myself and dropping it off at her house. And whatever, that happened. And then I bumped into this girl at a festival, like I think a year later. And she's like, oh my God, you sold me one of your Juicy bags. I'm like, no way. Like, oh my God, do you love it? She's like, oh my God, I literally like only had it for like a week or something, and I went to a party and someone came to her house for a party and someone stole the Juicy bag. Are you serious? If you steal a Juicy item, by the way, that's bad luck for the rest of your life, because why are you stealing Juicy for? Like, that's ridiculous. Anyway, so that pissed me off. That was the second time. Third time, I shipped a Juicy bag a few weeks ago, or maybe a month ago now, or even more actually, to a lady off of Depop, and I shipped it to her house. And this is the one time I didn't use my MyPost app on the phone. I usually use the MyPost app, so it has like all the details. I just went in person and wrote it down, and I didn't take a photo of the address, but I'm pretty sure I put the correct address in because I triple check things because I'm very nervous, as you can tell. Anyway, she messages me like, hey, I just wanted to make sure like what address you put because it's saying the package is delivered, but I didn't get it. And I'm like, oh no, I definitely put the right one. Like, I'm really sorry. Like, I would have put the right one. Like, I didn't, like, I swear I put the right one. Anyway. She's like, oh yeah, no, it's all good. Maybe there's just a mistake. Okay, a week goes by. Okay, yeah, I don't have the package. I'm like, oh my God, what the hell? So she's like, I'm going to call Ozpost. So she called Ozpost. You know, Ozpost dropped the package off to the wrong house, okay? Which, mind you, they can't tell her what house it is. They dropped it off to the wrong house. It was Ozpost's fault. So I did write the right address because I know I did. But they dropped it off to the wrong house. The person at that house had accepted the package. By the time this girl got through the Ozpost, they went back to the person's house they dropped it off at, knocked on the door, asked for the package back. Guess what? The person in the fucking house wouldn't give it back. Told them, no, you dropped it here, therefore it's mine. Even though it wouldn't have said their name on the package, even though they didn't order it, even though it would have probably just been one of their neighbors dropped off at the wrong house, they refused to give it back to the Ozpost delivery person. So they've obviously kept the bag or sold it. Like, you are going to get the worst fucking comment. That person is such a POS. If that's you watching, personally, you are a POS. Piece of shit for doing that. Like, why would you claim something that wasn't yours? I've had stuff sent to the wrong people's houses before. I had an elderly man once get my package sent to his house. He contacted the business because they put the wrong address. He contacted the business, found their Instagram, and little old man emailed them. They emailed him my address. He came himself and dropped it off at my house. That's a good freaking person. The person who took that juicy bag off that lady, bro, I swear to God, I hope your karma is freaking hot, bro. You're a piece of shit. That pisses me off. So the lady actually ended up being able to get into contact with Ozpost, and they gave her like $110 back, which is actually more than she spent. So she low-key made a profit. But I was like, you go, girl, doing that. But Ozpost is you're the freaking biggest idiots, man, for doing that shit. Anyways, sorry. I just really wanted to start. So those are my 3 experiences with stealing Juicy. But that leads me into people literally believe that I robbed someone at TK Maxx because I made the Daily Mail. I did the Daily Mail cap cut thing. Bro, someone genuinely believed that I actually robbed someone. They posted on the TK Maxx Australia group and they were like, this is why I never share my location. You know what's crazy? The lady that posted it had actually done a Finders situation first. So if you don't know what Finders is, it's like, so people will go into TK Maxx and look for the Juicy stuff. They take a photo, they post it on the Juicy Facebook group, and they go, does anyone want anything? I'll get it for you plus $15 Finders fee plus postage. So this girl got me a bag I wanted, and I paid the Finders fee. And I said to her, listen, can I just come pick it up? I don't want to pay 20 postage. I'll just pick it up. She goes, no, like, I don't really like sharing my location. I'm like, okay, please, like, let me just see. She goes, oh, and she told me her location. I'm like, okay, way too far. Don't worry. She's like, yeah, all good. She shipped it to me, whatever, it was fine. So that's the same lady who then posted my Daily Mail thing saying that I had bashed and stolen 3 Juicy bags, saying, this is why I never share my location. So she probably thought, rats. I shared this girl my location, she would have come and bashed me. Like, I reckon this lady literally thought, like, she was probably thanking God I didn't come and pick up the bag off her because she probably thinks, like, if she knew my address, this girl's going to come rob my Juicy bags. Like, I'm not going to come rob your Juicy bag. It was literally a fucking joke. That cap cut thing was a joke, okay? Sorry. Yeah, people believe, I've written people believe anything online. Focus on me. I'm sorry if you guys are watching this in the dark, you're probably thinking that I'm literally getting possessed from what happened at the start of my videos off. Anyway, people believe anything online, and it's honestly just ridiculous, and I am one too as well. And now I've started to like fact check and double check things before I go along with it because it scares me, like, especially with all this AI stuff, like the stuff I see on Facebook that people fully believe, like this fake ass AI grandma. I bake my own cake for my 90th birthday and everyone's commenting sad reacts, and it's like, girl, that's definitely fake. Can you not tell it's fucking fake? You know? Anyways. Oh, guys, I feel like I have just gone on the biggest tangent ever, but I feel like this is going to be like the replacement of my Get Ready With Me rants. If you watch on my YouTube, I have like Get Ready With Me rants where I just go off. And I still want to keep those, but like I just feel like I might save that energy for here if you guys like it. I don't know, like if it's supposed to be like ranty on a podcast. Like when I watch people's podcasts, it's more like they do the hot topics. And I am going to be having a hot topics section. Just wait, it is coming at the end of this video. So if you're watching on Spotify, you might want to go onto the YouTube because you're going to be getting a little taste of something exciting that's a little segment I have in my videos. But I'm just going to quickly talk to you guys about my plans for this podcast and what I want to be doing on it. So obviously I do want to have guests. I want to get guests whenever I can. I'm not going to have a super strict schedule, but I am just going to try and get guests when I can. That's why I've got the guest chair. I'm so excited I was able to get 2 high-heel chairs. I feel like that's going to be so fun. Not going to lie, they're not the most comfy seats, but, you know, it'll do. Anyways, so I want to have these episodes where I'm just sitting down talking with you guys. I do want to get some confessionals every now and again, like get you guys to send in your confessions and I'll react and give advice and whatnot. And I also want to do episodes, this is my idea. So these episodes are just going to be called That's Hot with Nickknok, okay? These are just like hot topics of the week for me personally, like things going on in my life, stories, online drama, my favorite, you know, video TikToks and whatever I've seen of the week, so on and so forth. But I also want to do videos called Knock Soldier, which someone gave me the idea to call my podcast Knock Soldier, but I wanted to steal that idea for a type of video because podcast, because I do want to have really like deep dives in 2000s nostalgia episodes. So I do want to do like a deep dive on Paris Hilton, a deep dive on Jersey Shore. Like I have so many ideas. So I will be having like creative episodes like that as well, which obviously take me a lot longer to plan. So they're not going to be as often, but I'm really, really excited to see like where this podcast goes. Obviously I do love to just sit down and yap. Like it's one of my favorite things to do. And I would love to share more stories and stuff that you guys have never heard before anywhere else, because I feel like this might be a safe space to do so. Or I don't know, people just say more out of pocket shit on here. But yeah, if you guys have any ideas of topics you want me to talk about, things I can do when I get my guests on, definitely let me know in the comments and stuff, because the more ideas, the merrier. I don't want to get to my 3rd episode and run out of things to talk about, things to say. Yeah, I kind of just want to get as much episodes done, like explaining the backstory of my life as I can, so we can just do like more stuff of like what's happening in the moment and stuff. But yeah, well, in saying that, guys, we have gotten to the end of my podcast. So if you're listening on Spotify, I'm wrapping it up at this point, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube Niknok'd Podcast. Okay, it's just Niknok'd Podcast, but this is called Nickknok, obviously. And follow the Instagram for updates, as well as my other social media, Bebamoo, Nickknok123. You know the drill, it'll all be linked. Actually, I don't know if you can link anything on Spotify. You're just going to have to search it up yourself, you know. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out to my Spotify watchers. Mwah. But for my YouTube watchers, we have, a live report coming in from Annalise. All right, girl, take the show. Hello and welcome to the first broadcast of Nickknok News. Today we're going to be reporting on some serious online drama and moments this week, starting with the Slushy Noobs boxing match. Not a lot of you might know, Annalise is a big fan of Slushy Noobs, and the boxing match this week took us by storm. But clearly Hamza won. Let's be real. If you're not a Hamza girl, what are you doing? It's just another way for the inner directional girls to have another one of these phases where they're just obsessed over guys online, and Hamza winning was no surprise. We did get a little heartfelt speech at the end from Martin, which was crazy considering he's Croatian, and normally Croatian men don't have any feelings. Next reporting, Annalise's twin and doppelganger Jamie from Maths is a crowd favorite, it seems. She has called out fellow contestants for ruining the surprise of the turnout of their relationships by being seen out in public together, and said, and I quote, "keep it in your pants," telling her fellow contestants, "can you guys relax, you're ruining the show." Now, I don't actually watch the show, however, I do watch the edits and scenes of Jamie, and I'm very pleased to see that Jamie is crowd favorite, because if not, people may confuse me with her and send me hate. You never know, some people are not very smart online, and that could potentially happen. Last thing that we'll be reporting on today is the conflict between Anna Paul and Michaela Testa, which Annalise has been asked to speak on several times. Annalise, is there anything that you want to say about this drama? My opinion is similar to the way when you get on Instagram and people like face tune their photos, they blur their skin, they get rid of their pimples. People are the same with TikTok and video making. Obviously, people are going to get on there and show the best version of themselves at all times and not show the shittier parts. And everyone does have shittier sides. Everyone has done and said mean things. Like, that's just how it is. And I feel like, not speaking on any of these girls in particular, but just in general, like, you don't really know who people are online, so you can't really act shocked and surprised. Also, I will just say one thing. If someone has been friends with someone for, now this isn't particularly to these girls because I actually don't know any of them personally, so I'm kind of keeping myself out of that drama. Like, I am not into drama. I like my own personal life and I like funny things, and that's it. Like, I'm never gonna make a piece on, like a whole TikTok piece on drama and call people out and whatnot, because I'm just not about that life. I think it's really stressful to do that to people, and it's stressful to just put yourself in that environment, and I don't like being stressed more than I already am. You guys can hear how much of a scaredy cat ass bitch I am. I don't want to be more stressed than I need to be, do you know what I mean? But when people are, I mean, they say birds of a feather flock together. I mean, in some cases that's true, in some cases it's not, but you have to just be careful when you're seeing like a two sides of a friendship kind of thing happening, because what someone might say about that person could be the same thing they were also doing with them. Like, you never really know. This is not anything in particular to those two girls. Whatever they did. But like, you have to kind of just have your own discernment and stuff when making decisions, and you can't just believe everything you see online and read and have your opinion shifted. Like, have your opinions for sure, but then go about the rest of your life. Like, you know, that shouldn't be the main focus of your life, like other people's drama. And it sucks, like, being an internet person, because your drama just gets aired out online. Like, you don't just have like little fights with people. Like, even for me, when I've had like things happen, like I have to get into the stories one day of like people being mean to me in real life, like that I've met, like their friends being mean to me. I've never been able to say anything back. I've never been able to defend myself out of the idea, and I guess the fear that like people are going to go and say, "Oh, that Nickknok girl is so mean." Like, I just can't be on the dealing with that. So I've never really like gone out of my way to defend myself, because like I just know it's going to get like bad repercussions for the most part, because people just want to have a problem with everyone. They just like love to have a problem with people. So yeah, I don't know. That's all I'm going to say on that. Wise words there, Annalise. Couldn't have said it better myself. I guess you never really know who anyone is, and you shouldn't expect to. Just live your life and don't worry about these online people. Take the videos that you think are cute and go on with your day. Now, after saying all of that, just to shed some light, I'm going to be showing you guys
my TikTok of the week. My TikTok of the week is Emily Gates. She is so funny. I loved her before she went viral, have to just state that. And this is the TikTok of the week that she posted that I just think was hilarious. Roll the clip.
Jonathan rides a windmill to school. 100 miles. It's going to be our W. Prairie. Takes. Perry walks to school. The same amount of distance. Perry is P. W, in parentheses, Jonathan, over P. This is 100 miles. Here we have W for windmill. We're squaring because it's a two-dimensional. So W times D over P. If the two boys were walking to school, represented by S. If the two boys were walking to school and come across an avalanche of snow, how many feet would the snow be?
Good on you, Emily. Can't wait to see you rise to stardom. That is the end of the Nickknok News broadcast, and we'll see you guys on our next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed my first episode. I hope it was in focus. If it wasn't, I'm really, really sorry. Like, I don't know. Like, I need to, like, figure this out. But, yeah, love you guys, and I'll see you in next week's episode. Peace out. Mwah.